And police say the gun and silencer found on Mangione were both 3D printed. Last week, the NYPD said they believe the weapon used to kill Brian Thompson was a so-called ghost gun. And law enforcement now sounding the alarm on these DIY weapons, which are virtually untraceable. They can be built in a matter of minutes. NewsNation's Ryan Bass has more from Nashville this morning. Ryan, talk us through this one. Just how easy is it to make a 3D printed gun?
I mean, Markie, you can make these things at home. You mentioned minutes. Sometimes it can take up to hours to make them, and just for a few $100. And all you really need is either a 3D printer or one of these assembly kits. And Luigi Mangione's murder charge here has put these ghost guns back into the national conversation, with the group Everytown for Gun Safety calling them the fastest growing gun safety problem in America here. And we looked online. There's instructional videos that you can find and instructional manuals that are really widely available when you search online, teaching you how to make these weapons. The ATF says people can make pistols, revolvers, rifles, shotguns, even silencers at home using these 3D printers. And it's legal to make them, too, without a license, according to the ATF. But ghost guns are becoming much more prevalent in crimes. The agency received approximately 45,000 reports of suspected ghost guns recovered by police in criminal investigations between January 2016 and December of 2021. We spoke to a retired ATF special agent who said it's super simple to try and make one of these weapons.
So it doesn't even require the expertise to use a 3D printer most of the time. You just use these kits, and really the kits are what is problematic for law enforcement, because they are so easy to use, they are so cheap, and they are absolutely untraceable, and they're being used to kill people virtually every day in this country.
ATF said back in 2022, they actually looked at data from a 5-year span and said they were only able to successfully track and trace less than 1% of suspected ghost guns back to the original owners who made them. So, Markie, it's nearly impossible right now to know how many of them are out there.
Yeah, scary just how simple it is. Ryan, what's the federal government doing to try and regulate these ghost guns?
So keep in mind, I mean, making a homemade gun isn't illegal under federal law, but the Biden administration did add a rule back in 2022 that required kits to include not only serial numbers here, but buyers to be subject to a potential background check as well, Markie. But it is being challenged, and a ruling in the Supreme Court is expected here in the coming months. But 15 states have already taken it upon themselves to pass regulations on ghost guns, including the state of New York, which requires ghost guns to be reported to the authorities. Now, again, while Americans are allowed to build guns for personal use under the Gun Control Act of 1968, Scott tells me that technology, Markie, is better and cheaper than it was back in the 60s. So he said ghost guns, they are a much more serious issue now than they have ever been before. Markie?
Ryan Bass, thank you so much, live from Nashville this morning. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.